Young people from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future. Service guarantees citizenship.
What about you, son?
Would you like to know more?
They're just like us. They want to know what makes us tick. They want to know us so they can kill.
To fight the bug, we must understand the bug.
We're gonna fight, and we're gonna win!
Join the Mobile Infantry and save the world. Klendathu must be eliminated. Service guarantees citizenship. They're doing their part. Are you? Would you like to know more?
The only good bug is a dead bug. Are you doing your part? Let's start the show.
Not twice, that's right.
You know what he did? He put another record on.
You need dumb people in horror movies.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, continuing our theme of war with Starship Troopers. 1997's Paul Verhoeven's sci-fi satire. More than what I call a satire later. But I am contractually obligated to never do this alone. So let's bring in the Colonel himself.
That's
How
right.
you doing tonight?
You see, I'm still ready. I just came back from Klendathu, Planet P. Why is it Planet P even though Klendathu is somewhere else? I don't know. But clearly they're a threat because they're so close and yet so far away from our solar system. And we got to get those bugs.
We got to get them. And we're not going to do it alone either. We've also got the executive consultant leading the charge.
There's a reason I never saw this movie. Okay, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it tonight.
Fleeting and I just don't mix.
Just running some water real quick. Sorry. Hold on, let me turn off the faucet. There we go.
Again, we're doing Starship Troopers right after we finish getting some water.
And here it is. Sip, sip.
All right. All right, we're doing Starship Troopers, Paul Verhoeven's 1997 sci-fi satire. This shows us a world where the military is a seat of power.
Yep.
Citizenship is earned through military service. An interesting concept. I believe it is expounded upon more in the book, which I do still need to read. But here, it definitely is talked about, second scene pretty much in the classroom, kind of sets us up with how the world building is in this movie. And it starts out with humanity is at war with the bugs. Again, this is our theme of war. So, hey, we starting out with war, and then it takes us into the classroom, talks more about how the society was formed through conflict, and now, violence is the answer, basically. So, it goes through the story of, how this idiot Rico thinks that, I'm going to chase after this woman, and the best way to do that is to get my citizenship and join the military, and we see how that all turns out. But let's get into it. Who wants to go first and give us their take on Starship Troopers?
Executive, you said you want to go first, or should I go? Oh, okay, I'll go. Oh, that's so nice. I know you were ready to jump in at any moment. Excuse me. Hold on. Let me. The water's still on. I don't know if you can hear it. Hold on. Let me turn it down. Listen, I love this movie. Did I see it in theaters? I cannot say that I recall seeing it in theaters when it came out in 97. But, if you're of a certain age, USA, TNT, whatever channels, I think Showtime used to show it a bunch of whatever, you'll have seen this movie at least in piecemeal bits and pieces. I love this movie. Okay, I didn't pick this movie. All right, so I'm not biased, but I do love this movie. And yes, one of the things I love about it is it's so message heavy. And one of the best things this movie does is it lays the message and layers it throughout the film without stopping the story to say message. And that's a great talent that is required in order to do so. More on that later. It has everybody. It has my guy that Chris used to always say that I remind him of, because I have a habit of having my hands behind my back. No, not because I have a fetish with the police, but because Darkseid stands like that. And he would always say when we work together, you have this Darkseid stance. And here we have the man himself, our Darkseid, and I can never pronounce the is it Ratchets, or how do you say his name? His troops, Rico's old teacher or civics teacher. And of course, he was in another Paul Verhoeven classic, Total Recall. So here he's coming back for that. But the movie is just so great, and it's so deep and layered, like I said. And I love that the indoctrination is subtle and yet overt.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, even in that, you can see the variation of, and for whatever reason, and they go into that in the shower scene. I don't want it to play it up like it's supposed to be played for something else, but that scene really gives you a perspective of why people join. As the doctor said, you only get citizenship through service in the military, but there are other perks to joining. So some people don't even want it for their citizenship. They want it for other avenues in life that they may have a passion for, but they have to join through the service. And so you can see in all these different people. So you see how, I don't want to say indoctrinated everybody is, but there's a large swath that is indoctrinated, that doesn't almost see it as a real thing, like the threat. And then there are those who see it as an ends to a means. There are those who romanticize it. It's not just all blanket, as who was it? The other lieutenant who was driving around with Rico's ex-girlfriend, just jarheads, mindless meat for the grinders. The guy says, they have many different reasons for why they join up and for what they believe. And it's really, really interesting and a great way to see it played out throughout the movie and their motivations and actions as the story plays out. But Executive, go ahead and jump in
here. Are you talking about, when you said Darkseid, are you talking about the gentleman that's behind Next Doctor up there?
No. Michael Ironside. I guess he's the civics teacher, Rico's civics teacher.
Okay, I know you know about
he was like his.
I didn't know that was Darkseid. That's Lex Luthor. So I knew him, but I didn't know Darkseid. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Think about his voice in the movie, and you could hear it. You could hear Darkseid.
No, and when you say it, I was like, oh yeah, and I recognize, and I didn't know that was his name in the movie, but I know that's who played Darkseid. Let me tell you about some issues I had with this movie. There was a villain in this movie that I can't stand.
Go on. I may have to give you 2 thumbs up already. If you're going where I think you're going.
There was a villain in this movie that burned my soul. There was a villain in this movie that I wanted to take a paperclip and throw it at their eye. This person was responsible for so much heartbreak, so many deaths, so much destruction.
Yep. Go on.
So many tears. It was just a sad thing. And I blame it all, this whole movie, Next Doctor, that you picked. I blame it all on this one person.
Here comes the left hook. It's true, though.
How the hell did she survive? Is my question. How the hell did she survive unscathed after all? She played dude, like, what's his name? Rico?
Rico.
At least he brought up with some charges. She played him like a fiddle. Next Doctor, like a fiddle. You feel me? Fiddle. Played him. They said, "Oh, I'm sorry, you can't get in under this punani because I'm giving it up for this dude because he knows how to fly."
For some plane tickets.
Female dog. And I'm like, okay. Well, her and the guy, and I don't blame the guy. You know, he did what he had to do. You don't know the dude. You know, whatever. The guy dies, you know, getting something stuck in his head. Okay, cool. Bye. I'm like, okay, she's probably about to get her comeuppance. Where the hell do you pronounce it?
Describe that scene, though. What did you mean? What happened to the other guy? Say that again.
He had something put through his head, you know, like he had an STD. Look, anyway, so he dies. And she gets strung up, and I'm like, okay, she's about to die. Because they already said we're not going to go save her. Don't save them. They won't be saved. Okay, good. Good job. And then I was like, oh, it's taking too long. The scene's taking too long. I know how this goes. Boy, kill her already. Die. Die. She don't die. Next doctor. You don't die. Why don't you die? You get saved, and guess what? In our intro, in the UPRE Federation Tuesdays intro, we're only one because this guy up here always acts like we don't do anything unique. We're not special. We're the only intro that has words in the intro. Literally the only intro, right? And next doctor's part was, and you know what he did? He put another record on. Well, you know what she did? She killed another 517 people. That's what she did because they all died saving her ass.
Wait a minute, Chris. Don't forget don't forget the reason why they have no longer any more childhood friends, right? You remember, right?
Expound.
So Chris is number one. I rarely get to say this, but Chris is 110% right. Okay. Number one, and by the way, just got to put this out there. Did Carmen play Rico or did Rico play himself? Because she told him from jump. Remember, she had never even said "I love you," and he said, "Just say it once to see how it feels." She never played him. He knew what it was. He played himself, and that's why the father wanted to cut him off so bad because he knew it wasn't that good. Okay, but let's go back. Let's go back to the
game. Recognized game, Grandpa.
Exactly. Okay, he still had a nice house. He don't got no citizenship. Okay. Salute to those who can get away with it today. All I'm saying is this. Yeah. Hey, I'm not.
Gotta be from South Africa.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, this is what I'm saying.
No.
And I should have known. I should have known because when she came on, I felt like, okay, because did she do that little fake kiss in the draw thing? I said, when she did, I was like, you know what? I said, you.
She did at the football game.
No, the football. Listen, yeah, she was making them goo-goo.
She was for the streets from the get-go. She looked at another dude while cheering for her dude.
Now, somebody asked me this question. The other woman that later get killed. And she was yeah. So what movie is she from? Because I've seen her so many times.
She's in no, that's not. I was about to say Final Destination, but I've seen her in a couple movies. Hold on one second.
There's one movie that she's like huge in. She's Assault. That's what she is. Yeah, that's my name. She's Assault. She was the detective that got killed in the third one. Okay, cool. That's why I basically know her from. But my point is that I can't stand her. And I like villains. I didn't like you because I felt like you, and I have a problem with that.
Next time, you didn't explain.
And all I wanted was the main bug to come out.
Steliocontos!
Whoop that ass! Whoop it! Whoop it good! Into shape. It wasn't too late. She survived, and she had no business surviving. But credit to this movie. It was a star-studded B-level cast.
Chris, you didn't even say the main reason. Okay, so Rico's about to go home. He could have survived because he would have been en route home, but because I forget a character, but because Carmen is flirting with that colonel on her ship, she doesn't notice that gigantic meteorite that the bugs have shot off course. Okay, and because she does that maneuver, it makes it go straight towards Buenos Aires and kill all those millions of people. She's the reason why they destroyed their hometown. And no one ever knows because they didn't tell anybody because they would have gotten in trouble for that.
Well, they couldn't because that was the other thing. it hit the communications on the ship.
Conveniently, the whole time she's been Han Solo in it, but that time she couldn't dodge it. Communication went out. We can't tell nobody. I'm sorry. You see what I'm saying? And then the captain all of a sudden gets crushed underneath the door. Who's gonna snitch? Nobody. Nobody's gonna tell.
How was she able to talk after? Was my question. How was she able to talk?
Because the pressure was keeping the organs up in the upper part.
Yeah, not long.
Well, yes. Rico did start out as an idiot. And I will say that he started out as more of an idiot. I will say that he definitely was playing himself. But yeah, she was a master manipulator. She was for the streets. Diz was better. You know, he should have been with Diz from the get-go.
Not really. She was easy. She was
Well,
tossing.
she cared about him, though.
She actually loved him.
She actually...
She ain't love him.
She did.
She ain't
Yeah,
loved him. Y'all ain't see her? Y'all ain't see her? She was staring at his crotch the whole time. I peeped it. I know.
But she desired him, but she did love him. She loved him for years, even before he got together with Carmen. They say it in the movie.
Look. This was set in the future, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's getting easier and easier each decade, right? She didn't love him.
Well, aside from
Don't
that...
save him.
Aside from that, so...
You don't want to be saved. Don't save her.
We've got the military government that is showcased more when you see it in the administrative punishment. You know, administrative punishment, it's not, oh, you're going to get this on your record. It's lashes. So you really get a sense of the militaristic style of this movie. And I also want to take a moment because I'm pretty sure it was done, this sequence was done on purpose. Another reason why, you know, one of the layers and the satire of this movie. When Buenos Aires, I believe that's what the place was called, right? Yeah. When Buenos Aires gets destroyed, his by the meteor, the news is talking about it, and they said, you know, it starts off as sorrow, and they show a dead human. But then it goes to anger when they show a dead dog. And I think it is sorrow or satire about the way that some people will put the lesser animals above human animals. Like, oh, you know, the people died, you know, whatever. But as soon as you mess with somebody's dog, oh, we got to be fighting. You know?
That sounds like the average American.
Huh?
That sounds like the average American.
And that goes into another point that I think is more poignant and relevant that I think a lot of people, I know that I certainly missed it the first time I watched it, but, you know, there were parts of it that were kind of like, stand up, and I know it is overt, but you know, I was still young. I wasn't really sure about, you know, all of the ongoings, but this is to me, and I believe it is the way that they intended it. It's a clear contrast between Nazi Germany and U.S. like nationalism, because this thing was all about gung ho, heroes saving the day. But in the background, you got Nazis. Because the intelligence group, whatever the name of the group was that Neil Patrick Harris's character went to, they were clearly in SS uniforms. I mean, you saw it from the first time he joined into it with the his insignia on the lapels. And I caught that when I was young. I was like, wait a second. That looks like Nazi. But I was just like, oh, you know, it's just a design choice. But, you know, it really struck out to me on subsequent watches. I was like, oh, this is a kind of a satire on Nazis and, you know, like a militaristic nation, which a lot of it is you know, kind of pointing to the way America is. You know, what we love. I mean, we talked about this in the last movie. We love being that gung-ho, that patriotism, that America, the best fighting force, you know. And I mean, this whole movie has propaganda, just like Nazis would do. The Do You Know More shorts, propaganda. All of them were propaganda about, hey, you know, we're the best. We got to do this, you know. And the whole thing with having citizenship through service, I think it all points to that, and I think it's a really interesting contrast there that they do, which, again, I didn't catch the first time I watched this back in 97, 98, but I definitely caught it in subsequent watches. And I think that goes to what Colonel was talking about with the layers. You know, it is overt if you're looking for it. You know, sometimes it does have to beat you over the head, but it is overt. And yeah, I was like, man, that is definitely some good writing right there, because this was good. And I mean, I already love this director, RoboCop. He also directed that, one of my favorite movies, also a satire, you know, about our capitalist society. So a lot of messaging in this one. Like the Colonel said, it is layered. And yeah, I mean, this was my choice. So, you know, we'll get into my final thoughts on it after these commercial messages. Let's find out what's coming up next on UPRE.
We should be ruling the humans. These people are our food.
They've got their claws into everything. Politics, finance, real estate.
He is their greatest fear and our only hope.
It's open season on all vampires.
Blade.
I'm putting together a special team. We're gonna be doing one thing and one thing only. Killing Nazis. Sound good? Yes, sir!
There's something you don't know. Hitler is attending the premiere.
Getting a whack Uncle Adolf makes us a horse of different color.
We have all our rotten eggs in one basket. The objective of the operation, blow up the basket.
And we're back. Coming up, Blade. There's only ever been one. There's only ever be one. And then for us, Inglorious Bastards. So we're back. Starship Troopers, 1997. Here to give you our final thoughts on my pick. You got the biggest smile, executive consultant. We start with you. What do you have to say?
It gets a thumbs up for me. Do you want to know more? Here's the reason why. I was actually entertained throughout the movie. Unlike Batman or the upcoming Superman movie, I was absolutely entertained the entire time. Was there a lot of stuff that I'm like, did I have to deal with? Yes, but I was entertained. I was surprised. I never watched this movie. I never wanted to watch this movie. I did read, ironically, 2 weeks ago, they're remaking this movie.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, they are. But
that's going to be bad. Like the
I
robot.
was entertained. Gets a thumbs up for me. I enjoyed it.
Where are they shooting this movie? In Ukraine? Israel? The U.S.? Throughout?
South Africa.
Canada?
This is going to be in such poor taste.
Greenland?
Don't cancel us. Don't cancel us. But I heard the Buenos Aires scene is actually going to be filmed in Ukraine.
No, I'm just saying because they don't got to use a lot of CGI. No, because people listen. You guys don't understand because they got to mitigate costs and these things. So you go to a place that's already like bombed out. Boom, bam. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying, I've been paying for it. What do you got?
Stereo Contos.
I don't know which one was Putin or which one was Zelensky, but I know the U.S. has been paying for them. It doesn't matter where you go. Okay? What do they call it? USA land, Greenland, whatever. The 51st. Forget Puerto Rico. Forget Guam. We're going straight to Canada, baby. We want that lumber.
Greenland is not a state. It's something that
I'm saying he wanted it to be a state. I'm just saying.
He's welcoming it into the fold of the United States.
Excuse me. All computer wanted USA Greenland, whatever he called it. Okay.
I don't know who computer is, but I don't know who Computer is, but I know the United States.
He's the air marshal, and you better put some respect on his name. You'll be busted back down to a private. You'll be off Federation Tuesdays. You keep talking crazy like this.
All right. Well, your paycheck is going to go to the tariffs. If you don't sit here,
it's been going. It's been going. I can't retire. I got to be 85. It's gone. Zelensky blew it.
Thumbs up or thumbs down, Mr. Colonel. Thumbs up or thumbs down.
Saudis got it, even though they got the oil.
You better be thankful. That's all I got to say. You better be thankful for the great stuff that UPR is doing. Let's go.
All I'm saying is you're welcome. The world, you're welcome. As far as this movie, Chris is over there looking at Carmen like The Rock. I saw that. That's old school, Chris. Y'all don't know about that. Give us another one. Go, Chris. You remember. Give us another one. Come on, real quick. Come on. Don't give us Disney Rock. Give us the original Rock. The one we like.
Thumbs up or thumbs down, sir. This has been on for 31 minutes.
Here we go. Mr. Tempest Fugit over here from Batman the Animated Series.
Here we go.
All I'm saying is what?
You have about...
I got all night, baby. This is a pre-recorded show. Edit. All right. No, listen. Don't you edit out my Israel rant, okay? That needs to stay in there. Okay? The people got to know, all right? Listen, in the future, James will not vote. Why? James has a rule. You know my horror rule. You know my horror rule. You can't be dumb in a horror movie. In my future totalitarian militaristic world where it's not like the military that we know today, if I get more than something that you could put my arm in, like that BAFTA thing that he got, I can't do it. It's a wraps. It's a wraps. If you're talking about slicing off my limbs, cutting a big hole in my back, and I'm just lying in the dirt screaming, I don't need to vote. Let computer have it. Okay? Computer can have it. James could just go somewhere else. Okay? Chris is really upset about that water, ladies and gentlemen. That water bill has to be crazy. You see him ranting in the back? Anyway, this is part of my final thing. You keep interrupting me, Chris. This is what I'm saying about this movie, though. That the next Doctor brilliantly picked because he loves excellence. Okay? Not that one, but excellence in general. Okay? All right. Now, the movie, what does it do? Different reasons why people join. Okay? And it's usually economic. Does that sound familiar? Most aren't wealthy who join. Does that sound familiar? And most are from small towns with little to few opportunities. Does that sound familiar? The doctor called it earlier. It's a mishmash of something that we've known in history that we hate, and yet some people glorify for whatever odd reason, even though they were our enemies, and also something familiar. And when you mix the familiar in with the foreign, it's not so strange. That's all I'm saying. This movie gets a thumbs up. Why? For Crazy Carmen, who destroyed Buenos Aires. For the simp of all simps, Rico. Chris, do we have that lapdog ready? The simp of all simps, Rico. Disney's the only one who actually should have joined the service. For young Gary Busey, who belonged nowhere near a gun. Oh, this movie gets thumbs up all around. That's what I have to say.
Oh, okay. So, one last thing that I want to say about this is, of course, because you gotta make that life or that art imitate life. Let's not forget that one of the highlighted black guys who was on this job doing his thing winds up being a martyr so that
the Aryan trio,
others can make it.
The Aryan trio can survive.
Anybody in that lineup could have got hit by that bug, but no, it was going to be the black.
He made it all the way to the end.
They couldn't have that. They couldn't let him get those few extra seconds of screen time. No, he got to go out with a bang. So, for all the reasons that the Colonel said, also one of the reasons why I picked this movie. Again, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, sci-fi action. I love sci-fi. Let's go see it. And then later on, subsequent watches, like, oh man, this has a message to it. This is wow. It really does open your eyes about the parallels and the way that things are, the realities of the situation living in America. But definitely a thumbs up for me. I love this director. Love the movie. Definitely glad I chose it. So thumbs up. So that's 3 thumbs up all around for Starship Troopers. Excellent movie. If you haven't seen it, I don't know what's wrong with you. Make sure you go watch it.
I got a quick question though before we sign off. Seriously, I want everybody's opinion on this. You know when the brain bug comes out the cave, at which point from the moment he first emerges to the point where he pulls out his proboscis like appendage to when he puts it in that colonel's head and stem, do you say, whatever you need to know, I'll tell you right now? What point is it when they got you, when they had her in her shoulder blades, both shoulder blades with the pinchers, do you say, I'm ready to snitch right now? Or do you have to see the brain bug come out and do what he did before you say, I'm snitching on everybody? Which point? Seriously. Let's be honest, okay? Come on, Doc.
I mean, knowing what I know about the bugs, I would have rather have been in Carmen's shoes with the blade. Because I don't know why.
Snitched.
Huh?
That's when you would have snitched?
No, I would have tried to lash out.
No. But I mean, at what point, if you knew what he was going to do, okay, or just seeing it is enough for you to say, you know what, I'm out. What do you want to know?
I haven't had any semblance of them having any type of mercy. So I'm not starting here. I'm taking somebody out with me.
Okay.
Listen, that interview with Denzel, you know, I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something. Okay.
To be honest, that brain bug wasn't the same after she sliced him. Because he was still spurting some kind of fluid. Chris, at which point, be honest, are you ready to snitch on what the game plan is on Planet P? When you see the bug or when the bug does that to your co-pilot? Which point?
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know here, UPREV has something for everybody. Please make sure that you are joining us on Wednesdays, typically
James
for
snitching.
a Trio of Destiny show with CD Superior, Bad Guy Jack, as well as Vic the Mark. On Thursdays, we have the Husband and Wife Show, review show with Mike Knox, and his lovely wife. On Tuesdays, we have Federation Tuesdays with myself, Next Doctor, as well as James, whatever he wants to pick that week for his name. The challenge comes on Wednesdays, immediately after the challenge show with Captain Shay Sawyer and Mike Knox. And on Thursdays, we also have the Wolf Pack with Freckles Sensei, Mike Knox, and Vic the Moan Jr., as they like to call him. UPRE on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Something for everybody there at our station. Thank you so much. Go ahead and take us home, Next Doctor.
I'm snitching. If I see you do that real quick, I'm snitching. But if it comes down to it, I got to cut you at least once.
Long, deep, and wide.
Yeah.
Listen, for the Colonel, for the Executive Consultant, I've been the Next Doctor. This has been UPRE. We'll see you next time. Make sure to like and subscribe. And go push a kid.
Willie with the push a kid?
Yes, every time.
Chris, we never talked about that new Superman. Why do you hate that one?